no friction between the bead and the ring. The thing. So let me take the masses M1 and M2. I'll make it. Let this be M1. M2, that of the ring. This is radius R. It is imparted initial velocity U. What is the state of the ring? It is not vertical. How weight will act into the plane. Rest in free space. Free space means no effect of gravity here. Better is saying free space, no, underline that. Words are very important. If you try to solve this in vertical circular motion, things will be very troublesome for you. The free space you had. So no effect of G. So nearby question you better write G equal to 0. Okay, now get into the problem now. The center of mass M2, this M1. How to find the magnitude of force of interaction between them and minimum kinetic range of the bead in subsequent motion. So where the center of mass of system will be here. So let M2 it's heavier, no? So here center of mass of system, I'll take it. Now you first calculate the velocity of center of mass. What is the velocity of center of mass? Vc equal to M1u by M1 plus M2. What is the state of center of mass? It was at rest, no? So M1 is 4 velocity, initial velocity imparted 5 by 4 plus 6. It will be 10, 2 meter per second. Let's get into the problem now. What happened to that center of mass during this total motion of the ring? The ring will continuously move. In what direction the ring will try to move? Okay, these are some related diagrams. Tell me, like, what be the sequence one after the other? What are the sequences that will take place? The ring, the bead starts. This is a bead. Try to understand, and this is a ring. When the bead comes in this position, how the normal contact will be there. So which part of the bead will be in contact like this? See, everyone is familiar with that block, all that one. So I've just picked up a problem where, so this will be contact, no? This part of the ring, the bead will be in contact with the ring in this direction. So how the normal contact will be there? The normal contact will act here. On the ring, I am unable to show it here. I'm just show it here. So look at the component of N. Look at the component of N. So then what should be the resultant? So how it should move now? So finally somewhere after some time the bead will come and let it be. Okay, this is what it's happening. So call this is N1. That force will be a variable. N2 here, N3. So finally, now when the bead comes to the I'll show it here. Okay, now final the next position after this, the next position will be here. The bead will be the normal contact force will be acting in this direction here. So take this n dash. So as it is given, how the normal contact will be, the normal contact on the bead in what direction should act in this position. On the bead, it should be in this direction. On the ring, it will be vertically up. So here it will be like this. So now let's analyze what is the question asked. Find the magnitude of force of interaction between them. Is asking that initial. Then the minimum kinetic energy of the bead in subsequent motion. In all the cases, our center of mass will be moving. Center of mass will move as if nothing has happened. Any reason for that? Because you look at the net force acting on system. How the ring should move here in this position and how the bead should be moving. The beads will be moving in this direction and the ring will be moving in this direction. So first we'll calculate what is the force of interaction between them. With respect to what, it will move in circular path with respect to center of mass. So the bead, what happened? In C frame, the bead will be moves in circular path and the center of the ring will be describing circular path. So what should be the radius of this? R1, let me call R2. How to calculate that R1? Any formula? How to calculate R1, R2? Center of mass formula, M1 R1 should be equal to M2 R2 and R1 plus R2 should be equal to R. So substituting this, we wanted R2, no? We wanted R1. So R2 value will be M1 R1 by M2 equal to this much. So what is R1 is equal to? R1 equal to M2R by M1 plus M2. In C frame, let's get into the problem. In C frame, the bead and the ring describes circular path of radii R1 and R2 respectively. So therefore, what is the force of interaction? N should be equal to M1 velocity of the bead with respect to center of mass. U1C is what? The force of interaction. That is what has to be calculated. And first we'll calculate that part and I'll come to the I need some space. Where we are? Let me save it. Now looking at this diagram, we'll write the equation now. So what is the velocity of center of mass? Velocity of the ring with respect to center of mass should be equal to U1C, V1C, anything you write it. V1C should be equal to V1 minus Vc. V1 is U. Velocity of center of mass. How to calculate velocity of center of mass? Now, Vc is 2 meter. U is how much given? 5 meter. So I have this 5 minus 2, 3 meter per second. So what is in N should be equal to M1 V1 C square by R1. Substitute this, solve it. You'll get the force of interaction between the bead and the ring. Okay, after this is asking Next, minimum kinetic energy of the bead. Where the bead will have minimum kinetic energy. We have took it U1C. Let me change symbol. No? Little bit. Anybody? Already we have discussed spring block system. No? Here is what the bead will have when the bead is moving opposite to velocity or opposite to center of mass. It will have minimum kinetic energy. Sir, how you are writing it? You do one thing, solve it and check it. You'll get same thing. Or directly from spring block system and concluding, the bead will have here. Afterwards, what will happen? Afterwards, what is the condition of the bead? Here it's having minimum kinetic energy. And what about the ring? Ring will have maximum kinetic energy here. If you want to check it. The sequence will continue. What all we are having, no, this is the oscillatory motion. So this is minimum. How to calculate this minimum? So I'll apply conservation of momentum. See, net force acting on system will be zero, no? So M1U equal to minus M1V1 plus M2V2. Then M1U square equal to M1V1 square plus M2V2 square. Check it, you'll get the required answer. So here is what the bead will have minimum kinetic energy. Why it is minimum again? It happens minimum only here. So again, what happens? It's oscillatory motion. No? So after this, what will happen? The outer part will come into picture. So till here, what happened? The inner part of the ring was in contact. After this, what will be the diagram? The diagram will be this will be the diagram. No? So here it will have some V3. The bead will come in contact like this. Check it if you see that one. Then the normal contact will act in this direction. Then the speed of the bead will starts increasing. Then on the ring, it will be like this. The speed of the ring start decreasing. And anyway, like our question is still here, no? This is the minimum that one. So it's like the part that what all the sequence it will continuously repeat itself. Okay, now take this one here. This is very important. The system is released from rest. Find the acceleration of center of mass of system. You see that the surface, this is smooth. The inclined plane is rough. Is asking acceleration of center of mass of system. So directly get into the various forces that are going to act here. This is theta. In what direction? The wedge, what are the various forces that will be acting on it? M1, normal contact, N1, here N1. The friction force, Fk you write it, the frictional force, Fk. M1g cos theta, then M1g sin theta. Okay, these are the forces that are acting on the thing. So now after this, what conditions will arise? How the wedge will move? Wedge should move towards right. The motion of the wedge should be towards right. And how the block with respect to wedge will move along the incline. With respect to ground, somewhere in the plane. I think already have come across problems related to this. So straight away you have to get into the numerical here. So let's go for one by one all. Now how to describe this motion of the acceleration of center of mass of the system is asking, not of the wedge or any other thing. So the acceleration of the wedge, let's assume like this. Then any other forces? M1g sin theta, the friction is acting on the wedge. let it be here. Then any pseudo force shall I show? Yes, it will be M1A2. And this will be AR, you take it. What is AR? Acceleration of the block with respect to inclined plane. Okay, let's write all the possible equation. First, normal contact you calculate because that is very important. So what is N1? N1, here N2 will come, weight M2G. N1 plus M1A2 sine theta minus M1G cos theta. M1 value is given 2 root 2. So this will be, let me substitute the values. It will be easy for me. Problem will become very lengthy, lot of calculation. So I'll keep this equation 1 if you want to write it. Then after this, what is Fk? Fk is equal to mu N1. So mu is how much? 0.2. So 0.2 into 20 minus 2A2. Keep that. Okay, let's write equation for the acceleration of the block along the incline. So it should be equal to mass of the block m1 AR should be equal to m1g sine theta. In exams, better don't substitute the values and carry on because lengthy equation sometimes will come. So if I solve this, what is m1? 2 root 2 AR 2 root 2 10 1 by root 2 2 root 2 A2 we don't know. Cos theta cos 45 1 by root 2 and Fk is how much? 0.2 20 minus 2A2. So this everything 16 plus 2 point. I just solved it so that I wanted to save time. This is equation 3. This is relation between A2 and AR. Okay, let's write on the wedge. So this is for the block along incline. This is perpendicular to incline. I'm writing nearby the comments also. Just see that one. So this is over. Okay, now for the wedge, we'll write it for wedge. For wedge, what is the equation? What are the forces that are acting on the wedge? N1 sine theta towards right and Fk cos theta towards left. It should be equal to M2E2. So the equation should be N1 sine theta minus Fk cos theta equal to M2E2. These are the only forces that are acting on the wedge along x-axis. And we know N1, we know Fk. So directly we'll get the value of A2. Substituting 1, 2, 1 and 2 in the equations, 4, the value of A2, I'm getting around 2.73 meter per second square. Now this is very important. What is this? Acceleration of the wedge along x-axis. Okay, now we got it. So once I know A2, can I calculate AR? This is what? Equation 5. Now put 5 in 3, we'll get AR. Anybody value of AR? So AR, okay, let me check with calculator. AR will be substituting value of A2 here, root 2, yeah. And I'm getting 7.97 or you can write it as almost equal to 8. The equation 6. Okay, now we have almost everything in our hand. AR, everything that one. Okay, now let's get into the concept of center of mass. In what action center of mass will accelerate here? straight away you can get in problem. What is the net force on system along x-axis? Zero. We know that. The net force acting on system along x-axis is zero. So therefore, center of mass must accelerate along y-axis only. So that we are trying to calculate here. So I'll now calculate the acceleration of block along x, along y. I have already we have discussed the same thing in laws of motion. I don't think so. This is something very new for you. I'm making things clear. This is not something very new. Already we have discussed this. Now, what is the thing? So here you can take one rough diagram. This is theta. This is A2. It will have AR here, no? No, it will have two accelerations. One acceleration A1x and A1y. What is AR? Acceleration of the block with respect to wedge. And what is A1x? Acceleration of the block along x-axis with respect to ground. And what is A1y? Acceleration of the block with respect to wedge or ground, because the wedge is not moving along x-axis. So how to calculate this A1x? Because I know only AR, A2 and cos theta. Go back to the basics again. AR, cos theta, towards left, anything towards right is positive. AR cos will be towards left, should be equal to A1x. I don't know. The unknown things I'll leave it. Then plus A2. So what is A1x? This will be A2 minus AR cos theta equal to A1x. I know equation 5 and 6. Equations, this one, put 5 and 6 in 7. So I'll get the A1x. So what is value of A1x? 2.9. No. Similarly, I want A1y. What is A1y? A1y is very simple, you know. I can write it as AR sine theta. A1y is equal to 5.63. So call this equation 9. No, I think we have enough information. Let's go for directly the definition of center of mass. What definition of center of mass is? What is the definition of center of mass? Total acceleration of system, ACM bar, should be equal to M1 A1x bar plus M1 A1y bar plus M2 A2 bar by M1 plus M2. Why M1 twice? Because having X and Y component, and the wedge is having only acceleration along X axis. Substitute all this and you see, check everything, no? You'll get acceleration only along Y axis. So M1 value 2 root 2, A1x 2.9. In what direction it is? It is towards left, no? We have in the diagram. So minus and A1y is minus 5.63 J. M2 is how much? Value of M2 is M2 is 3 A2 value 2.73 I cap divided by 2 root 2 plus 3. So check it, all this calculation. I component will cancel out. Nearly, because I did some approximations, it must cancel out. We'll end up with only 2.75 minus J cap. And this is very important. Rather than numerical, it's a very good conceptual problem. We got it positive there. What will happen? I assumed it here, no? Because what is the net force on system along X? Should be 0. Look at the diagram, A1x. Here, if you want, you put it negative sign, you'll end up this one. So here A1x is towards left. I just calculated magnitude from there. Now look at this. I think now look at the center of mass. It is acting. It is accelerating only along y-axis. Any reason for that? Go back to the look at the thing here. N1 sine theta, N1 sine theta, Fk cos theta, Fk cos theta. Then only along y-axis, what are the forces acting? Weight M1g and M. And look at this: N1 cos theta, N1 cos theta, Fk sin theta, Fk sin theta. Tell me, like, what is the only forces acting? Shall I say only weight? No, if it were only weight, I would have said acceleration of center of mass as g, but N2 is acting. Even that N2 is also acting. So therefore, this N2 will become external force on the system. So what is the acceleration of center of mass along this one is M1g plus M2g minus N2. Can we calculate that normal reaction N2? The formula is this one. Huh? The formula is M1g plus M2g minus N2 should be equal to M1 plus S into ECM magnitude. Like this is what you should calculate N2. Check it, the normal reaction. Since we don't know this value, this is an unknown thing. This was not a known thing. So therefore, if we were the value of N2 were known, I would have directly predicted ACM. Since it was unknown, so therefore we are using this method. So it's very difficult to identify sometimes external forces, internal forces. We thought we never bothered about N2, no? But this N2 is what? Because of this N2, what happened? N2, M1G minus N2G, M1G minus M2G minus N2. M1G plus M2G minus N2 is what? Resultant force acting downward. That's why it is accelerating downward, center of mass. So what is the firm conclusion? ACMX means net force on system along x-axis 0, so center of mass will not shift. Non-zero, so center of mass descended. And now what are the questions they'll ask you? Find the time taken by the block to reach the bottom of the incline. Yes, we can work out now since we know AR, all the things. Or directly we know A1Y. So you know A1Y and it will ascend an iitj, sorry, descend an iitj. So any related other questions can be asked here. Slide some approximate decimal places, no? You check with calculator, no? Some 0.01 or 1 decimal place will come. But in fact, they should be equal only. We did up to 4 decimal place. If you take it, no, then the error will become very less. These two will be in fact equal. High components. Though there is a friction, so you have to manage like this. Okay, now we'll take the next one. Read the question. There's a ladder on one side. Person of mass m. The mass of the ladder is m minus m. Say the center of mass is a topic very generalized. Huh? We can take it to anywhere and link it. Only thing is you have to just go for what are the various forces acting along x, along y. Then based on that you can identify it. Net force 0, non-zero, then get into the problem. Look at here, I brought a new situation. The person will climb up. So when he's climbing up, so will he exert any force? When he climbs up, no, will he exert any force? So let me take it's a diagram based. The better you draw diagram, through diagram, it will be very easy to manage. There's a pulley. So here on, there's a reference point. So on one side, we have a person. This is a load, and we have a ladder here. So with the person, let it be at the midpoint here. There's a person, and here is that is what, no, mass of, is there no ladder of mass m minus m? So there's the initial diagram. I'm assuming it. So the person starts climbing up. It's asking now the displacement of center of mass. Look at what is being asked. Then the displacement of center of mass of the system. Man plus counterbalance plus ladder string. Counterbalance is this m. Ladder, capital M minus small m, and mass m. So initially, what is the thing? I think it's in equilibrium, no? So the weight mg will act on this side, m minus m and mg. And initially let the person be at a distance L. Is a person. Okay, no. So as he climbs up, anything will happen. So for him to climb up, what he should do? He should hold that ladder. No? He should press that ladder. You better take, this is similar to rope. So how he can climb up? When he presses hard, there friction will be generated. So tell me in what direction the friction, the tension in the both the strings will increase, no? Because of increasing tension, what should happen to this block? Counterbalance, this called like a block here. So the block should ascend. Then the person will rise up. So ladder, what happen, will descend here. So here the next condition is, let me take this one. So here is what? The block. I've seen very few students who really draw diagram. To be frank, I'm telling. We have most of the students who end up with answers and they're able to think only till there. They're unable to analyze further. Okay, no, I think at least. Okay, what should be the ladder? Ladder should descend, no? So we have, this is a ladder. So the person climbs up the ladder and he will end up here. So let the displacement of this be y naught. So this should also be y naught. And initial displacement, any symbols you can take help of. Initial displacement is y, and initially the center of mass, the center of the ladder be at a distance y2. Your problem will get over within next step once you're able to write this one. So what is this? I'm taking this is origin. So at what distance the person will be, no? y2 plus y naught minus L. This will be the position of person. And at what distance the center of the ladder will be? The center of ladder y2 plus y naught. Now I'm asking question, what is the net force on the system along y-axis, zero or non-zero? I think that is very important. With that only we have to proceed further. Look at the dot. So this is m minus m. And what about the mass of person? M, small m. Mass of the person is m. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
We'll continue this one. Okay, fine. This is so now what is the net force on system along y-axis? Zero, non-zero. So so earlier the tension T. Let's assume this. Now the person climbs up. As he climbs up, he has to press hard. No, suppose you are climbing up ladder. What you do? You press hard with your toe, no, or with your legs. That particular horizontal, that one. So definitely, slightly tension will increase. T plus delta T. Here the tension will increase. So correspondingly here will increase. So earlier the tension was balancing mg and on this side mg. So as it starts climbing up, the tension will there be increment in tension. So what is the net force acting on system? Will be upward, no? So there's a net force is acting on system in what direction? Upward. So center of mass will shift along y-axis. Any reason for that? As the person climbs up, as the person climbs up, as the person climbs up, there will be an increment in tension in the string. It will climb slowly. So gradually what happened, the center of mass, the block M will move up, the ladder will move down and the person will be climbing up. There'll be increment in tension. So therefore net force along y-axis, net force will be non-zero along y-axis. So what happened to center of mass? Will shift. So therefore center of mass shifts upwards. This is the idea, background. Okay, how to calculate that shift in center of mass? So it's all about now writing equation. No? Nothing else there. Initial position of center of mass will calculate YCMI from with respect to what we should calculate from here. This is the origin. Write down the equation. Now you'll get answer very easily. There's a background is what you have to set up here. So I'll make it. We'll write down the equation. So YCMI is equal to M Y1 plus M minus small m Y2 M into Y2 by M capital M minus small m plus small m. What about YCMF? M Y1 minus Y0 M Y1 minus Y0 M minus small m, position of the ladder, Y2 plus Y0 person all divided by so what is delta YCM? The difference of these two. YCM F. When you take difference of this to solve it, no, what about the first one here only? I think it's quite easy, no. We'll have one equation, then we'll proceed. So what is YCMI? Minus small m, so this will get cancelled out. So y1 plus y2 by 2. Look at the calculation, it's quite easy. Minus m plus m will get cancelled, denominator. Minus my2 plus my2. So my1 plus my2. Okay, this is a YCMI. Anybody in the world, he can solve this problem if he draws diagram. That's what I believe. It doesn't, the science doesn't belong to any person, intellectual, non-intellectual, nothing. Anybody puts effort, you learn science. You know, we have a wrong perception that, so y1 plus y2 minus, this will be small m by 2 capital M. So the difference of this, so finally what we'll get it, small m L by 2m. Why the difference? Because it will shift upward. The position of center of mass will shift upward. So what is delta YCM? Should be equal to ml by 2m. Small m it is, just be careful. If he climbs with a speed, can we calculate velocity of center of mass? mvr by 2m. If the person climbs up with a speed, then you have to differentiate, no, dl by dt, dycm by dt. If a person climbs up the ladder with a speed vr, then what is the velocity of center of mass? This one should be vcm. What is vr? Velocity of person with respect to ladder, not with respect to ground. Relative velocity, relative velocity of person with this. If he climbs up the ladder with a speed vr, then the velocity of center of mass will ascend upward with this much of thing. And there's a very important concept where the ladder idea is what we have brought it. In fact, center of mass shifts, so you do get problems where center of mass will shift, will not shift. You have to be careful. How to check it? Look at the net force on system along y-axis, 0, non-zero. Along x-axis, 0, non-zero. If it doesn't shift, okay, well and good. If it shifts, then take the problem.